Hello, good morning students. How are you? I hope you will be good. Yeah, you are enjoying physics these days? Yeah. Alright, so in continuation of the previous lectures, okay, we were dealing with some numericals based on the Coulomb's law. Alright, so as I was sharing, that is after Coulomb's law, we have to deal with numericals based on number of charged particles. So when there are more than the two charged particles, maybe 3, 4, 5, etc., etc., okay, so how to solve the questions based on that. So there is a extension of the Coulomb's law. All right, that is whenever there are number of point charges, then what will be the total force due to n number of point charges, okay, more than 2. So for that we are having a new law or the principle called principle of superposition of charges, that is the force due to multiple charges. Okay, so today we will take this topic. Is very important, okay, especially for the numerical point of view. Clear? So yes, so today's topic is principle of superposition of charges. Clear? So we call it as basically the forces between multiple charges. Clear? So I would like to explain you in brief so that we can understand it very well for the numerical point of view. So let us assume this is the xy plane, the x-axis, the y-axis, okay, at origin some the point charge q naught is placed, and around this let us assume the q1, q2, q3, q4 are the various number of charges, okay, at certain distances. So from O, the q1 is at a distance of r1, so its position vector is r1. q2 is having position vector r2, r3, r4, and so on and so forth. So we can consider n number of point charges around this very point charge q naught. So now question is that what will be the total force, right, at this point due to all these charges? As we know, the force is a vector quantity, so simple vector addition. So the total force when we have to calculate, okay, due to n number of point charges on certain point, okay, so then what is that law called? So that law or the principle is known as the principle of superposition of charges. Meaning thereby, how will you state that? The principle of superposition of charges states that the total force at any point charge q surrounded by number of point charges is the vector sum of the forces due to all point charges with respect to that given point charge. Meaning thereby, the total force F will be equal to the force between this point charge where we are calculating total force and the first point charge q1, similarly between the point charge in the q2, then q3 and q4. So we can say the total force F will be equal to the force between this first pair of the charge, the second pair, third pair, and so on and so forth till n. So I have marked it as F naught 1 vector, meaning the force between this point charge q naught and q1. Similarly, F naught 2 or F02 vector is the force between q naught and q2. Similarly, q naught, q3, and so on and so forth. So we add them vectorially, okay. So this vector addition of all the forces is basically the net force. So this is basically called the principle of superposition of charges. And just you can split as per the Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law says k q1 q2 upon r square being a vector form. So k q1, q1 means the original charge, that is q naught. q2 is nothing but this q1, and distance, what is the distance? r1. So it's from this, so that is r01 square and r01 cap. So this cap is actually the unit vector giving the total direction to the force F1. Similarly, the F02 will be equal to k q0 q2 upon r0 to square and R naught to cap. So this caps, these are the unit vectors giving the direction of these forces. Similarly, the nth part. So when we take KQ naught is common throughout, okay, you can take them out, okay. So now the Q1 upon R naught 1 square and this unit vector left, okay. This quantity within the bracket, okay, can be replaced by summation I varies 1 to n Qi upon R naught I square into R naught I cap, because it's a vector, okay. So the total force at any point due to n number of point charges, okay, is the vector sum of all the forces and is given by this. So this is the statement, and please remember, based on this we have very important questions, okay. So we will take them, and many of them are being asked in your examination as well as competitive examination. Clear? So let's proceed. Okay, so I will rub it now. So we will start the numericals once we know this concept. And remember, whenever we are considering these forces, okay, so the one pair of forces considered at one point of time. That is, the other point charges will not affect the force between one pair of the charges. So let's start, okay, without wasting time. The question number 1, the very important. See, let us consider there is an equilateral triangle. There is an equilateral triangle like this. Okay. Let's draw smaller. Alright, so this is an equilateral triangle. Let us put it as A, B and C. Being equilateral, let us assume it's each of length L. Alright. Now the question says, if there is a equilateral triangle of side L, that is ABC, okay. Now some charge Q is placed at each vertices of this triangle, that is ABC. So let us say here is the Q charge, here is the Q charge, here is also the Q charge. Alright. Now if you just see, there is a centroid of the triangle. So now if the centroid, let's say this is a point O. Some charge capital Q is placed. So our question is, in an equilateral triangle on whose vertices the equal charges Q small, Q small, Q small are placed, then calculate or find the net force at centroid O having charge capital Q. So you are finding there are number of point charges, and the point under consideration we are forced to calculate is a capital Q charge at a centroid O. So how many possible pairs are there, okay? So question is, solution is very easy, nothing to worry at all, but the idea is how to understand, how to proceed. So question says we are finding the total force at centroid, okay, O. So now the very first question is, or that should come into mind is, how many possible pairs of the forces are there? So you can see there is a force between this charge and this charge, as well as between these two charges, okay. So there are 3 possible pairs, alright, of the forces. And or how to find the force? Force is calculated by the Coulomb's law, that is K Q1 Q2 upon R square. So we are knowing the charges between this pair of charge, this pair of charge, this pair of charge are known, but probably the distance is not known because only the sides of the triangle are given. So we have to find out first of all AO distance. Now if you extend this one, okay, let us say this point is a D. So what will be the distance from A to O? So whatever the total distance, it will be 2/3 of the entire. So if we can calculate the AD, in mathematics, okay, by using the triangle method, you can easily find out AD, because this is the right angle triangle. Here is 90 degree, okay, and because equilateral triangle is, so the total angle here is 60 degree. So this angle will only be 30 degree. So if we use the term cos, so cos is based upon hypotenuse. So we can easily find out the AD first, okay, and once you know the AD, AO will be nothing but 2/3 of the total. Clear? So we will be knowing the distance, and as per the mathematical property, the AO will be equal to BO is equal to CO. All three will be equal. So we will be knowing the distances as well. Charges we know. Alright. So as per the numerical aspect is concerned, we are now knowing the values. But force, when we calculate, okay, is being a vector, we have to show the direction as well. So please, this is a very first question based on the superposition principle, okay. So be focused, try to understand, because we have to use the vectors concept, okay, here. So let's proceed, please. So we can say that is how to find out AD. So that is n triangle ADB. If you use the term cos 30, cos 30 will be equal to how much? Base upon hypotenuse, that is AD upon hypotenuse L. So from here you will find AD is equal to L cos 30. And what is L cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So therefore we are getting AD is equal to root 3 by 2 of L. I have substituted the value of cos 30. Cos 30 is how much? Root 3 by 2. So this is AD actually. But what do we need? We need AO. So therefore you can simply say, because O is the center of the triangle, equal triangle, so AO will be equal to 2/3 of AD, that is 2 by 3 of this distance, that is root 3 by 2 into L. So 2 get cancelled, okay, and by this root 3, this root L, this 3 will get cancelled by root 3. So therefore we will finally have L upon root 3. So very interesting now, that is AO. As I am saying that AO, similarly the BO and CO, all three will be equal. So AO as well as BO as well as CO, all three distances will be nothing but L upon root 3. So now it is becoming simpler for us, okay. So at least as of now, we know if we want to find out the force between the small charge Q and capital Q charge, okay, at O. So we know the charges, we know the distance now, that is L upon root 3, because this L is given to us, okay. So at least numerical value of the force as per the Coulomb's law we can write down. The force being a vector quantity, we need to show the direction of the force as well. Without that we cannot proceed further. So now please remember very important fundamental. Okay, what is that fundamental? As I have shared in previous class also, the point charge where force is to be calculated is either repelled or attracted by other point charge of that pair. Meaning thereby, if we are finding out the force at this point, okay, so what will happen? This is the positive, this is positive, okay. So therefore force on this will be acting this way. Clear? So therefore this small q will be repelling this, because both are positive, force repulsion. Now which will repel what? So the point where we are calculating the force, that is at capital Q placed at O, so therefore this small q will be repelling this, okay. So the force will be acting this. So let us assume this as force F1. Clear? So let us find it out first, okay. Alright, so how much it will be? So that is F between AO will be equal to K QA QO upon AO square. Very simple, nothing difficult. K as it is, KA means the charge at A, that is small q. Q naught means the charge here, which is capital Q, upon AO. AO is how much? L upon root 3. So this is L upon root 3, but it's a square. So therefore after square this becomes 3, it goes up. So therefore it is 3K small q capital Q upon L square. So let me rewrite, okay? That is FAO, that is the indirectly this F1, which is pointing this way, okay, is equal to 3K small q capital Q upon L square. Clear? Very important, because we have to find out the net force at this. So till now we have only got the force due to small q charge at A at capital Q charge at O. So now the two forces are still left, okay? One force is here and other force is here. Alright, now think how much will be the force. First of all, after calculating AO, now our the for next step will be how to find out the force between B and O. So first of all, think what should be the nature of the force. Is it attractive or repulsive? So you will say, sir, it is positive, so force of repulsion. Then which will repel what? So as I shared, the point where you are calculating the force will be repelled. So this B charge, that is Q charge at B, will be repelling this. So you will find this will be the force, okay? Let me put it as F2. So can we find it out numerically? Yes, charges are known and the distance is also already known, okay? So F2 we can find out, and fortunately data are same, small q capital Q distance, similarly small q capital Q distance, okay? So F2 numerically will be equal to nothing but F1. And similarly, let's see, so let me write it first, okay? That is FBO, which we are saying is as F2, is also equal to the same, that is 3KQ capital Q upon L square. This is number 2. Now think about this. I think you are smarter now. Q will is both are positive, so repel each other, okay? So means this will repel this, so meaning thereby that is let's say it is F3. So F3 force will be acting this way, isn't it? Yes. The same. So therefore you can again say, sir, F3, which is nothing but the FCO will be the same, but you can write it also, okay? That way that is 3K Q small upon L square. So in this way we got all the three forces, F1, F2 and F3, because these small q charges were given, capital Q is given, okay, right? And so what is left is K, we already know, 9 into 9, okay? So we can easily solve it. Now the question is, what is the net force at this? Should we add all the three forces directly? What do you think? No, we can't, because these three forces are actually pointing in the three different directions, and whenever we have to calculate the force due to number of point charges, we need to follow this superposition principle, which says the total force will be the vector sum of all the forces, okay? So we have to use the vector algebra, okay? So they cannot, if they would have been in the same direction, we should have added them, okay? No issue at all, but they three all are pointing in three different directions, okay? So we cannot directly add them. Now how to proceed? See, the very interesting thing I would like to share now. We are finding F1 acting this way, clear? F2 this way and F3 this way. So if you see, if F2 is acting this way and F3 this way, what do you think, what is the angle between these two? Can you tell me? I think you can tell. See, this being equilateral, there are many ways, okay, to get this angle easily, right? Because this was the equal triangle, so this angle was 60, so this angle will be 30 degree only. This angle will also be 30 degree, no problem, okay? And you consider OBC triangle. Sum of all the three triangle is 180. So 30, 30, and so how much will be this? 120. So this being opposite, 120. So you can easily say, sir, this angle between the force F2 and F3 is 120. So if you find out the resultant these two forces, okay, how and in what way? By using the parallelogram law of vectors which we have studied in class 11th. So we will find some resultant of these two by using this, okay, and you will see that when you will apply the parallelogram law, the resultant of these two will come in this way, that is F23 will be this. So let us calculate, and you will be surprised, I am telling right now, whatever the force, resultant force of F2 and F3 will be acting upward, okay, you will be surprised, this force will be equal to F1. So F1 is acting downward and resultant of F23 will be acting upward, okay. So if they are equal also, so equal and opposite means they will cancel out each other. So the net force which will come at this O point central will be 0. But let's see. Very interesting. Please try to understand. Okay, so let's proceed. That is, what is the resultant? So we can say the resultant force of F2 and F3, let's say F23 is equal to, I am using the law of parallelogram vectors, okay, so that it will be equal to F2 square plus F3 square plus 2F2 F3, and that is cos of how much? Theta. Up you write theta itself, no issue at all, okay. Now, by the way, the F1, F2 and F3 all were having the same values, okay. So can we put it as F, please? So this is F square, this is also F square, this will be 2F into F, and this is cos of 120. And cos 120 degree is how much? Minus half. So therefore, we will be having, see, that is F square plus 2, this will become F square, and value of 120 is minus half in product. So 2 will cancel, and due to this minus, this whole term become minus, okay. So we will be having now F square plus F square and minus F square, because 2 is getting cancelled and F square, okay. So 1 F square get cancelled, so you are left with only root F. So final answer is F, that is just equivalent to any one of the force, meaning thereby the resultant of these two forces, that is force exerted by charge at B at O and the force exerted by the small q charge at C and O point. So resultant of these two is this, F23 is F. Now you see, this resultant of these two forces is acting vertically upward and F1 is down, and incidentally F1 is nothing but F only. So what do you think? Don't you think one force is upward and other force is downward, and they equal and opposite, so will nullify or cancel out each other. So let's say we have to find out as per the law that therefore F total should be equal to the resultant of 3, okay, that is F23 vector plus F1 vector. But don't you think they are equal? Because 2, 3 is nothing but F, and F1, F2, F3, which one each having value this, okay, was nothing but F. So they being equal number, you can put it as F, and this is also F. So hence both 0. So the answer is the resultant force at the centroid of the equilateral triangle in this condition is 0. So I hope you enjoyed this. Very good and interesting, right? Based on superposition principle of charges, because number of charges were involved in it. Clear? Yes. So now important idea is here, that is Coulomb's law extension is there, application of the vector form is there, and of course this parallelogram law of vectors. So this way we can solve the question. So we'll proceed without wasting time to take some more questions. Should we proceed? Clear? Alright. So once the questions are clear to you, I tell you, you will be master, right? So I will try to make physics very easy and interesting, and please try to understand all these concepts which I am sharing. Again, I am taking the very interesting, question number 2. Very interesting question. Let's say again a equilateral triangle. Okay. Whatever the material, it is a material ABC, right? This way. Clear? So let's say some minus q charge is here, okay, some plus q charge is here, okay, and some plus q charge is here, okay, fine. And in this case, simple, let us take very simple question, okay, but it will have lot of logic and concepts application. Find the force at each point charge. Means we have to find the total force at A separately, at B, at C as well, under this condition. So here is plus q charge, is a plus q and it's minus, and say it is once again an equilateral triangle, say of length L. Clear? So very simple question, but find the force. So we have to find out the force at A, force at B, and force at C as well. Let's start. Can we find out? I think we can easily find out, okay? That is a force between them, force between them, force between them, okay? Distances are known, charges are known. So you may ask, sir, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? So, but see, because these are two charges are not independent. There is a system of this. Got it? So, how to proceed? Suppose we have to find out, the force at A. So force at A, when we have to find out, so this will have the force due to this plus q charge as well as some force due to this minus q charge. So please, once again I am repeating because very important concept, okay? First of all, let us see, that is, what are the possible number of pairs. So suppose we are finding out the net force at A. So let us identify how many possible pairs of forces are there. So A will have the pair with the charge at B and with the C. Similarly, when we will calculate B, so you will have again pair with the A and with C at this also. And when we will find out at C, it will have pair with B and A as well. So let us start with the first one. So when you will say the force at A point where the charge positive Q is there, okay, due to this, how much will be? So charge unknown, and in which direction or what is the nature. So this is the positive charge, this is the negative charge. So there is a force of attraction. Now the question is, which will attract what? So where you are finding out the force at this? I told you the point where force is to be calculated is either repelled or attracted, because there is a force of attraction, meaning thereby this will be attracted like this. So that is, there will be some force, okay, let me put it as F1, okay. So this positive charge will be attracted by this minus q charge this way. We can find numerical value. So this is one pair of force, and other pair of force is this. This is positive, this positive, force of repulsion. So because the force we are kind of this, so it will be repelled by this. So force of repulsion will be, so let me put it positive here, so this will be like this. So say it is F2. So the net force at A will be sum of these two. But this force here, so we have to again do the vector addition of these two forces, okay. So as far as these values are concerned, so easy. So let us proceed. That is F1, which is nothing but indirectly the FAC will be equal to K Q upon R square, means L square. So simply it is KQ square upon L square, okay, because this length is given, charge are given, QQ each. in the numericals, whenever vector quantity is small, okay, so we take only the magnitude of the charges, okay. So this minus sign will not come. Please remember this important fundamental, okay. In the vector quantities, okay, whether it is the force or the field later on, electric field I mean, then the magnitudes are being taken. Whenever we will consider any scalar quantity, of course the algebraic sum or algebraic the sign will also be considered. So this is F1, got it? Alright, what about this F2? So F2 will be nothing but that is F of BC from B to C. So this will be again K, Q here, Q there, okay. So K, Q, Q, and the length or distance is L square. So simply K Q square by L square. Clear? So we have to find the total force. So now resultant we need to find out, okay. So resultant means the vector addition of these two. So vector addition, again we can use the law of parallelogram of vectors, okay. So this way. So actually this will be the resultant force, which you may say F12, this force. And when we find out by using this parallelogram law, then we need to know this very angle. So this being a straight line, this angle being 60 degree being equal to triangle, so this will be again 120. So can you find it out, please? So you will say, sir, the resultant of F12, that is the net force at A due to this arrangement, that is F12 will be equal to the vector sum. So we can apply the parallelogram law, that is F1 square plus F2 square 2F1 F2 and cos of 120. Alright, but don't you think F1 or F2 they were numerically equal? So you will see F12 is equal to, let me put it as suppose ordinary F. So here this is F square, here it is also F square, 2F or F combinedly this will become F square, and cos 120 is minus half, okay. So ultimately you will find F12 is a magnitude value. Alright, we are getting, so that is F square plus F square, 2 get cancelled, minus F square, so 1 F square also get cancelled, so root of this means F, that is F12 numerically is coming as F only, right. That is any one of the force, either this or this, okay. So resultant of these two is this. Clear? So this is the total force, and the numerical value you will get, if some values are given, that is simply KQ square upon L square. So K, of course, the constant 9 into 10 to the 9, Q is given to us, maybe any 5 microcoulomb or 20 coulomb, okay, and length may be given that 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter, whatever it is, okay, just substitute values and get the answer. Alright, so now let us think at B point. So if you have find out B, what will happen? First of all, identify the pairs. So you find that this is one pair or this is one pair of the forces. Now this is negative, positive, okay. So the point where force is calculated should be attracted, okay. So one force will be acting this way. Let me put it as F2, and one force will be acting what? This is the positive, this is positive, repulsion force, okay. So both of them positive, so we are finding out this point, so it should be repelled, meaning thereby that is there will be force outward here, okay. So here is the plus Q. So you can put it as less, for example, say F3. Alright. So don't you think that as far as F2 is concerned, charges are the same numerically, length, distance is the same. Here even the length same, charge is same. So F2 and F3 will also be the same as F1. So we can easily say, sir, F2 will be nothing but equal to F1, and that is equal to nothing but to F. That is simply KQ square upon L square, and even F3 will also be the same, that is F is equal to again F1 numerically I mean, and that is F, so therefore it is KQ square upon L square. Clear? So how to proceed again? So this angle, this force this way and this force is acting this way. So again you will apply the law of parallelogram vector, so ultimately force will be like this. So we will find out again, and here the angle is again 120. So what I suggest, whenever we calculate F23, so you will find out f23 will again be by using the parallelogram law vectors. Same way, f2 square, f3 square plus 2, f2, f3 and cos of 120. So simply you will again get it equal to f originally. Alright, so we will write it. Okay, yes, so here it is f23 is equal to nothing but f. Alright, so this way. Now even though we got this f12 is equal to f, but what should be direction? So because it is acting this way, so indirectly you can say, sir, it is parallel to this BC. So what I suggest, when we talk about finally, that is, though we calculate this force earlier, f23 we got this, f12 we got as this in this direction. So I am telling, because simultaneously we were supposed to write the direction as well, though f2 was coming as f, okay, and the direction was nothing but this, and this is nothing but parallel to BC. So we should write even direction as well, that along BC, that is, this was the actually force at A. Alright, now I got f23 is force at B. Alright, so this is nothing but force F, B and is equal to F only. But what should be the direction of this? The force is this way, so it is rather parallel to this, that is along AC. So here we can write down the direction is along AC. Clear? Because force is a vector quantity, we are supposed to give the numerical value as well as the direction. Okay, so numerical value we are finding out F. So you say, sir, what is F? F is nothing but only KQIR square, simple, and values are known to us. So this way we got even the total force at A, now we got the total force at B. Now still the third point charge left, okay, so we need to find out the total force at this also. So when you talk about total force at C, what will happen? Because now force is at C, okay, this is negative, so force of attraction between the two. So the point where force is to be calculated will be now attracted, force of attraction there, okay. So that is, there will be one force here, okay, you may say it as FCA, and there will be one force this side, okay, that is FCB, because this negatively attracted towards this. Am I using sense? We are basically using the very laid down fundamental, that is the point charge where force is being calculated will be attracted or repelled. Now we see the minus and plus force of attraction, so obviously it is being attracted this way, so that's why we need to show the direction this way. Similarly, minus q plus q, force of attraction, again it should be attracted this way, so that is the reason I have indicated the direction this way. It is not the idea that is anyway in any direction we can indicate the direction. Alright, but don't you think the force as numerically known to us, that is equal to what? F1 or F2 or F3, okay. So basically speaking, there is no need of wasting time. It is numerically F, this is also basically numerically F, okay, because the charges are the same, length are same, and these values are nothing but simply remember KQ square by L square. Here also KQ square by L square, but these are only two, it's not resultant force. So resultant force will be what? The vector addition of this. Suppose we consider this is one force here till this. So now you will see the resultant of these two will be in Y this way. Alright. So this point is C. So it will be pointing from C to this downward like this. So we can find out one force is here, one force is here, okay. And angle between them is how much now? 60 degree. Alright. How much it is? 60 degree. So therefore when we talk about that the total force at C will be nothing but, again you will say, sir, it is nothing but FCB square plus FCA square plus of 2 FCB into FCA into cos of 60 degree. Cos of 60 degree. What is what? The value of cos 60. Alright. So what is cos 60? Cos 60 will be, that is, this is already f square, this is f square, and that is 2 f into f, and that is 1 by 2. So 2 get cancelled, right? So therefore finally we will have that is f square plus f square, okay, and even this also become f square, so that is root 3 of f. So therefore the total force at C will be equal to root 3 of f, okay. And what should be direction? So direction will be from C to this downward, okay, this way. So you have to write down this, that is, so how can we say an ordinary sentence downward, okay, it's not a proper language. So basically you can say the direction should be along the line bisecting this angle, that is angle ACB. So therefore you can say this is along, the direction is along the line what bisecting angle ACB. So actually this is the overall solution of this question, that is we have found out the force at A, at B and at C as well. So that was the question, okay, find the total force at A, B and C points. Alright. Now should I tell one important funda of this question as well? See, if you try to solve, find out the total force of this system, you are finding the net force here is this, clear? Though the original question is over, but I am taking the extension of it for competition point of view, right? Whether the NEET or IIT JEE, they define the total force of the system, So we have to apply the superposition principle. Now you see, the resultant of these two forces, was this. One resultant was this, okay? So if you find out the resultant of these two forces, so I will try to draw a figure, so that you can understand well. So this is the extension of the question. One force we were having, see, I am redrawing it actually. This is the A, B and the C, So ultimately net force was here, one force and one force was here, okay, and the resultant of this acting downward. Fine. This is the final situation basically, okay. At A point force was this, at B force was this, at C force is this. Now if you have to find out the resultant force of all this, so if I put, I have put this as F12, yes, and this force was F23, okay, and this is basically the FC. Alright, what is the resultant? This is obviously acting downward. Now if we find out the resultant of these two, because all the three cannot be added again because they are vectors, so once you extend them, like this, so you will be finding even the resultant of them. This was fortunately F, this was fortunately F, we have discussed earlier, okay, that is KQ square by L square. And what is the angle now here? Angle is 60 degree again. Alright, it was 60 degree angle. And overall force, how much it was? F. How much it was? F. So whenever two forces equal to F, okay, at 60 degree, what was the resultant? Just now we calculated in this case. F, F and 60 degree. So what I am trying to tell you, the resultant of the total force at A, the total force at B will be this, and this will be nothing but root of, again say, f square 2 f square in the cos of 60. So what I mean, you will again get that root 3 of f, that is the f total or resultant, ft. Alright, or rather f of these two. So I better to say that is due to the A and B, the resultant of AB, you can say, okay, resultant of AB. So resultant of AB is acting this way, and at C it was this. But don't you think, even this force was how much? Root 3 of F. This force is how much? Root 3 of F. Alright. So this is acting downward, it is acting upward. Don't you think? They being equal opposite will nullify each other. So therefore, as a whole, the total force of the system is 0. Is 0. Clear? So These are very interesting questions. I am sure you will be enjoying, and there are many concepts, okay, are being clarified here, okay, clear? So, alright, we can, even extend the class further, okay, because I would like to tell some more beautiful concepts, okay, or even there are many more questions, okay, we can take in next session as well, okay, clear? So, at least anyway, I will take one more, okay, because now it's becoming too much interesting. Alright, so as of now I have taken the questions based on triangle, that is the 3 charged particles. So now I would like to take at least one question on a system having the 4-point charges, and of course I will apply or extend for the competitive examination point of view as well. See, very simple, little faster, okay. Let us consider there is a square, that is A, B, C and D. Say in general I am talking, let's say each of side L, this is square, say of side L, okay. Some plus Q charge is here, some minus Q charge is here, let's say plus Q charge is here, okay, and again minus Q charge is there, okay. So we have to find out, there are many possibilities. Find the total force at D, okay, right, or find the total force B or C or A at any point, okay. Now, but as of now the question is find the resultant force at this central point, okay, at the center point O, where the diagonals are bisecting, all this, clear? So question is very clear now. So as per the CBSE point of view we will solve it, okay, and then I will extend it as a numerical problem for the competitive examination. See, so plus Q minus Q plus Q minus Q, okay, these are the point charges and on the vertices of the square of side L. Find the resultant force F at O, okay, how much it is. Very simple formula. Please let us recall whatever I have shared earlier. Whenever force is to calculate it, first step is to identify the number of pairs of the forces. So the O will have the force due to A, due to B, due to C, due to D. So we got 4 forces, clear? Now charges we know, yes, we know the charges, okay. So let us put there is some charge capital Q here, alright. So we have to find a total force here, okay. So we know the charges. Do we know the distance? I think there is no problem in identifying or getting the distance AO. It will be half of the hypotenuse. Alright. So this AO we can find out. So AO, BO, CO and DO, all distance will equal. We can find it easily. Can you find out? So basically if it is L, if this is L, okay, this whole will be root 2L. So root 2L half will be this. So root 2L by 2 will be the distance AO. But because I am trying to explain to you, in general, the distance material, even the numerical value may be given. Suppose this is 30, so it will be 15, say for example, okay. Alright, suppose, so in this way we can find, not an issue at all. So what is FO? FAO I mean, okay. So numerical value we can find out easily, that is K QA QO upon AO square. So you know the value, that is small q capital Q, and this value we got, okay. So that is root 2L by 2, okay. So how much will be, but it's a whole square, okay. So 2L square by 4, so 4 goes up, okay. So this will come actually 2K small q capital Q upon L square. This is the numerical value of this force. But what is the direction? Important. As per the rule, force we are calculating this point, so and positive force repulsion. So therefore this charge should be repelled by the charge at A, okay. So this way, meaning thereby this. So let me put it as F1. Then what is the force? So numerical value of this force is this, and direction is this way, that is along AO or AC. Clear? Now talk about this. This distance same, charges are the same, so numerical value is the same, but direction. So it is negative, it's positive. So force of attraction. Force, we are calculating this, so it should be attracted now. So that is force will be experienced, okay, this way. So let me put it as F2. All right, F2 numerical value, don't you think that will be the same? That is F, you can say it is OB or rather F2. So this will be nothing but same, that is 2KQ capital Q upon L square. Now come here, positive, positive, repulsion. So this point charge is repelling this, okay? So due to this there will be force like this. So let us put it as F3. Numerical value will be the same. So you will have, that is FCO is equal to, let's say F3 will be equal to nothing but same 2KQ capital Q upon L square. Alright, and now this fourth one as well, positive negative attraction. So this point will be attracted this way, okay? So that is force of attraction will be this way. Let us put it as F4. So here you will find out that is FOD, right? And that is nothing but indirectly F4. So same. Why it is same? Are you getting my points? Because the charges are the same and the distance is also same. Clear? So in this way we got all the 4 answers. Now somebody may say, sir, we got the 4 answers of forces, so let us add them directly. No. Why? Because force is vector quantity, so we have to add them vectorially. So what do you think? F1 is acting this way, F2 is acting this way, F3 this way, F4 this way. So none of them are in the same direction, so we cannot add them directly also, right? Then how to add? Incidentally, the forces, all forces are coming equal. So when you think about F2 and F4, they are equal but in opposite direction as well. So they will nullify each other, and even these two will also nullify each other. So when you will write, that is the total force will be equal to F1 vector plus F2 vector plus F3 vector plus F4 vector, okay? So you will say F3 and F1 are equal and opposite, okay? So but their values were equal, that is F, okay? So F total will be equal to F1. Let's say it is F numerically, alright? In a particular direction, okay? Alright, and F3 was minus of this, okay? So you will put it like this, clear? Now talk about F2, okay? And F2 and F3, they are also F of each, but if you take this as positive, then this will be negative of this, okay? So here it is, that is F2 means F only, and F4 is nothing but minus of F2, that is F. So this, so positive, negative, okay? So here it was B to B, no, this positive, negative, and positive, negative like this, okay? So this way, indirectly it is in 2F, it's minus of 2F, so it is coming as 0. So therefore, in this question, okay, when the charges of this nature, if located at the vertices of a square of some side L, okay, then the resultant force at O point, center point, will be 0. So as for the numerical and CBSE is concerned, you will be writing all these steps. But in competitive examination, we are having very less time, okay, to solve this. So please remember one important trick, what is that? If there is any question of this nature and you find out that is the charges at the opposite vertices are equal and of similar nature, that is you find here plus Q plus Q. So the magnitude is same, even sign is also same. Similarly here the magnitude same, sign is same, that is minus minus, okay? So if this is the condition, meaning thereby if the charges at diagonally opposite vertices of a square are equal and of similar nature, then resultant will automatically be 0. It is immaterial. You see, very interesting, that is, if you take here, the plus 5 coulomb charge is a plus 5 coulomb charge. Here you may take even minus 10, microcoulomb charge, but it should be minus 10 microcoulomb charge, okay? That is, opposite corner should have, the equal and of similar nature, okay? If it is so, then the net force is always 0 at this center point. So you got one important, trick today, right? To be utilized in the competitive examination. If the vertices are having, the opposite, the points or corners are having the same and similar nature of charges, okay? right? And here also the similar nature are, but in mind will be different. Okay, different means different with respect to them, but they themselves will be equal in magnitude but of similar nature, means positive or negative. Then the force at the center point will always be zero. Clear? So we have actually extended the Coulomb's law, okay, in the form of superposition principle, okay, by using the the group of 3-point charges, okay, in different forms, and of course the 4-point charges, okay. So these were the very important questions, okay. So I hope you enjoyed this session. You loved this session, I'm sure, because this was very interesting and the conceptual as well. So please learn and revise each and everything in writing. I am pretty sure you will be enjoying physics. So just have fun, right? Never be bored, because you are here with Dr. R.K. Sharma, and I will make physics very easy for you. Nothing to worry at all. Thank you. Have a nice day.